Alright, so hello everyone and welcome back to Tech with Luther. In today's video, we're going to learn how to track and manage our code using Git. Alright, so when I first started learning to code, I was working on a personal project by myself, and honestly, my way of managing code was pretty chaotic. Every time I made progress, I saved it in a new folder, and after a while, I ended up with tons of folders and absolutely no idea what changed between them. Thankfully, there's a much better way to do it, and that's through Git. So Git is a free and open source distributed version control system that helps you track changes in your code. And more importantly, it makes collaboration with other developers simple and efficient. Alright, so if you haven't installed Git yet, check out my previous video where I walk through the installation process step by step. Alright, so there are several ways for or workflow for using Git, right? So in this video, we'll just focus solely on pushing our code from local Git repository to a remote Git repository. And with that, let's get started. Alright, so first we need to create a local Git repository. To do that, we just need to type down git init right here. And as you can see, this is my local working directory. Nothing much happened. But if you go to the settings right here, type down exclude and remove this line right here, you can see that we actually created a .git directory. That is your basically your local Git repository. All right, the next step that we need to type to do here is that we need to put some Git identity. So the Git identity will be used by Git to put like some sort of an ID. Who made the changes, right? So on my end, I will use the username, Tech with Luther, and also this email right here. Okay. Now the next step here is we need to add the .gitignore file right here. I'll show it to you. So in this file, basically, this tells Git, which files and folders to ignore and not track in the repository. Now, if you are wondering how did I ended up with that file, I just grabbed the some of the default template of Git here. So this is a template for Python projects. You can just grab it here and put that into your Python projects. All right, now in Git, we will be working in 4 directories. We have the working directory, we have staging area, local repository, and remote repository. So we'll go to that in step by step through this process. So the first one is the working directory. So this is your working directory. This is what's on your file system. So Git does not automatically track changes to these files right here. Okay, and to prove that, we just need to type down here git status. Okay, so it tells here is that oops, Git's telling us that I'm not tracking any of these files right here, but I can see it. Okay, so now if you want Git to track changes to these files, you just need to type down git.add right here. And then if I type down git status again, as you can see here, these are the new files that I am now tracking. That's what Git is telling us, right? So the information about the tracked files is saved in a temporary holding area, and that's what we call the staging area. All right, so let's move on to the local repository. Now, if you want to permanently, keep records of the changes here, you just need to type down git commit, right? And then put some, notes in there, which is, I was just say initial commit right there. All right, so as you can see here, Git has already saved a snapshot of a particular version of your software right there. Right now, if you want to see, different versions of your snapshots, or should I say, different versions of your application, you just need to type down git log here, which is because we just have one git commit. So we only have one log file right here, right? So this is the most important part here is actually the commit hash right here. So if you want to change from one version to another or switch between the two, you would need this git hash commit hash right here. Okay, all right. Moving on. Now, let's talk about the remote repository. So a remote repository is basically a Git repository that's hosted somewhere else. It could be in GitHub, it could be GitLab, it could be Bitbucket, whatever. So let's just create a new one using the GitHub right here. All right, so let's make one. So it will be, let's say, GenEHR right there, and then create repository. Now, for us to push our code from local repository to this, you just need to copy paste this line of code right here. All right, so now that we've copy pasted here, let's just type on enter. To double check if we actually push the code right here, we just need to refresh it. And let's see, okay, so this is the remote repository. So the files that we have in local is now available in our remote repository. And I think that's all for this video. I hope you've learned something new today. And if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. And if there's a topic you'd love to see covered, please drop a comment down below. Let's continue building this learning community together.